And boy, do we have a Diasen show for you guys. It's been a crazy week, very exciting week. So I hope everybody's enjoying their time. Thank you guys for coming in and joining me. We're going to be sitting down with a powerful, oh my God, multi-talented, just an amazing soul. I know her for a couple of years now. We've connected. We've done events. She's been on the show like twice, I believe, or maybe once. And this is her second time, because time just goes fast. So there's going to be some things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about her journey for the ones that are not too familiar, or we're just going to reiterate that. We're going to talk about people she worked with. We're going to talk about Def Poet Jam. We're going to do Def Jam poetry. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about some awards. We're going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about what it is to be a Puerto Rican Latina from the BX. We're going to talk about COVID and how she's handling all of that and some new stuff that's happening in her world for 2020. She is known, I just want to introduce her really quick. So she goes by the name of Caridad de la Luz, okay? Right there is like the light. But we may all know her as La Bruja, right? And she is America's leading spoken word poet. She's an activist, an advocate for domestic violence, or has been. She's an actress, she's a writer, she's a stage performer. She's a powerful force. She walks in the room and you can right away feel her aura, and it's an amazing aura. I remember when I was introduced to her and what I knew about her, and I finally had her on the show at Nightline, and when she walked in the room, I just kind of like teared up and just hugged her because I was just happy to have her in my space finally and finally connect with her and then call her a networking friend, a buddy, somebody that I talk to here and there, you know what I mean? Like personally. So I'm going to bring her on. I don't want to talk too much. We're going to talk about stuff. Thank you everybody for joining us. Bobby Simmons is in the building. Yes. Travis Michelle's in the building. Follow her. She's into mental health as well. DWI from DSN Network Radio Station up in the BX. Repping all the time. Been in business for over 20 something years. We just did an interview yesterday and it was fantastic. And now you guys are sitting with me. If you have any questions or comments down below, please put them under. We will get to that. And I'm going to bring her on because I don't want to hold her up no more. And I don't want to talk too much. So we're going to do this right now. Damn, it feels like forever that I haven't spoken with her. So let's see. She's coming on.
Hi!
Hi, beautiful.
You made me teary with that intro.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've become something with the intro. Someone told me, I always hear that, like, oh my God, the intros. I guess I'm infamous for intros.
I love it. I feel the sweetness.
I love you.
Yes, I love you too.
It's been a long time. I'm happy that you've made the time for me, and you look beautiful. You look good. You look relaxed.
I am relaxed right now. Yes, I'm relaxing. I got up really early and taught my first Spanglish bilingual poetry class to a middle school. So that was
Wow. That's major.
Now it's a new world. This is the new way to connect. And, I'm grateful for it. At least we're here, we get to talk and we get to connect. And, there are a lot of people haven't survived this. So it's a blessing to.
Absolutely. And we're connecting in a such a unique way. And it kind of leaves an imprint for when this time passes. I tell my viewers every day, if I tired of me, of how blessed I've been through this COVID. And I'm loving the journey. Like, I've changed my lifestyle. I've changed my habits. My health is stronger than ever.
You're drinking a gallon of water a day.
Oh, water. Yes. For 2.5 months, girl.
Salud. Sacred.
Yeah, La Bruja has a lot of secret magical things happening. Just research her, become her friend, and you'll get to know her. If not, you better get in line. It's the truth. How has COVID been? How have you been handling it? You look like you've handled it very well, but I know you probably go through things as well as everybody else. So do you want to shed some light on that?
Well, I have had my moments of anxiety, waking up shaking.
Girl, I have every day, even right now.
I have dealt with anxiety in my lifetime, and moments like this, this is a completely new unknown. It's so, it's so unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen. When something like this happens, it's really traumatic. But
Absolutely.
I have a tool, arsenal of tools that help me ground myself, relax myself, and get myself back into my own manifestation power. I visualize. I almost daydream like I was a little girl. Like when I was a little girl, I would daydream beautiful things without the
Mhm.
worries of, oh no, that's not gonna happen, or that negative voice that that life instills into you.
Right.
So I've learned to shut that voice out. I know whose voices those are. I'll be like, no, okay, that's my mom. Okay, no, that was my first grade teacher. Okay, no, that was, that was the news. And then I'm like, because that's not my voice. My voice is happy, trusting, loving. I go back to like an innocence. And even though I've
Right.
gone through all ugly things and seen ugly things,
Mhm.
I still can sit and feel like a little girl, unafraid.
That
I
is
don't.
like, see, right there, I always say that you're powerful, and that's a powerful way of thinking and just kind of living life right now. Not everyone can even dig deep in themselves. Imagine trying to really just go in as a child, and I
Yeah,
mean,
you
that
gotta
takes a
nurture that
lot.
child, and I've been nurturing that child for some time. And you think about why are you afraid, and why do these things come up, and you know we're all traumatized, but some of us deal with it in different ways, and if you don't deal with it, it comes out in negative ways. So it's
Absolutely.
like martial arts of the spirit, to meditate and go in is, it is discipline. It's not just some frou-frou stuff. It really is hard work to trust the universe, like to really go in and trust and love, and it's deep. I was
Well,
in Back Cortland Park today, just looking for the blessings, and then there was two swans with five little swanlets, little
I love it.
little ducklings or whatever, and it felt. I felt my whole, Ochun,
Yeah.
Orisha, river, sweet water, and then the number five of the little birds, and so
Yeah.
I look into all those other signs too, how the universe talks to me, and then I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, this is miraculous.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is that a lot of people are missing the signs, and sometimes they're as little and right in your face all the time, and people ignore it. This is the time to take the signals and the messages. And you're right. The universe has been refreshed. It's being refreshed. So now you see more animals coming out. You see more bugs coming out. I live on the 14th floor with a terrace, so I have all these little weird bugs flying around. I'm like, what the hell? But it's like you can't hate. You can't hate because this is their time to, to live
And
their life.
you're a snack, so they're coming for
I love it. So listen, for the ones that are just kind of tuning in and kind of new to you, which I don't know where the hell they've been,
you.
can you let them know where did you get the name La Bruja from? Because people can take that as witch and can we put it straight that not every witch is a bad witch?
Well, I was calling myself La Bruja before it was cool. Now it's cool. I was the first,
La
but it
Bruja.
was a feminist choice. It was a spiritual choice. It was a choice to have people look at women in a different, forcing people to look at me as a woman, as a bruja, but really, as a curandera, and challenge this colonized mindset, this European mindset, this oppressor's mindset, and take them back to the roots. And
Absolutely.
and brujas were healers. Brujas are healers. We're still doing that work. And I come from a long line of healer matriarchs. So I started calling myself La Bruja, put it right out there. My parents got married on Halloween también, so it's like
And you do some
I'm pegada
magnificent
la
Halloween
luz.
parties too.
Oh, what? That's my day. Halloween is like my birthday. I feel like I celebrate it really hard. But it's also the wordsmith part, because words are magic. Words are powerful. When we write, we spell. We are spelling. We are creating spells. So it's all in alignment with those powers that exist. So yeah, I'm La Bruja. I'm the first witch in the game for
I
witches.
love it. I love it. So
Brujalicious.
Brujalicious, yes. And that was an amazing performance that you did. I think it was a year and a half ago or 2 years. And I want to
Help
see
me,
it again.
the
Huh?
Brujaha, that you were helping
Yeah.
me and you were on my team and giving of your time.
Do you know that I was sick as a freaking dog that whole weekend? Buggers everywhere, nasal, horrible, fever, and all. And I was like, I'm here. Let's go get next to me, but I'm here.
That's loyalty.
Um, huh?
That's loyalty. I
Yeah,
that.
it's dedication. I wanted to be there with you to share that experience, and it was an amazing experience the whole weekend. It was awesome.
Thank you.
So we are leading spoken word poet, Nora Rican Cafe. That's the home. That's where she's still working and putting out stuff. Always activist, advocate for domestic violence. I'm not sure if you're still involved with that, but that to me, that's always part of your life once you get involved, right?
Yes.
Actress, writer, stage performer. I like it like that. You just recently had Dancing and My Cockroach Killers, which we're going to talk about because the title always gets me crazy. You've written and participated with Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Joel Ortiz, Africa Bambaataa, Jungle Brothers, Tony Touch, Vivian Green. The list goes on.
Spike Lee.
I mean, come on. This is power right here. So as I'm looking through my research, and I already knew this, they named you the top 20 Puerto Rican woman that everyone needs to know. How does that feel? Do you know that's a compliment that like makes me want to reach harder when I hear something like that? Exactly.
Well, I've been here for doing it since 1996, and
Wow.
yeah, that's over 2 decades of work. And so when you just work with a mission and a cause, those things come, but you don't do it for those accolades. When you do it with intention and pure heart, when it's not about fame, when it's not about money, when it's about purpose and humanity, then the blessings will come. I firmly believe that. And I mean, poetry saved my life, so I started teaching poetry. I would go into jails and teach poetry. I go into schools and teach poetry for years. For years. I mean, I sharpened my blade in Rikers. I've sharpened my blade on stages at the New Rican. I've sharpened my blade in parks, and anytime invited to perform, I would do it.
Hip Hop Kitchen you're involved with, right?
Oh, my Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen. Oh my God, yearly.
Yeah.
And that has been so amazing, and that's a free concert for women, for young girls to have a positive outlook, and to see the women that are doing the type of work. So yeah, I've been in alignment with a lot of good purposes, and domestic violence included. I did this play with Cynthia Paniagua, who's a dear friend of mine, and we both do healing work, and we did this a duet show called Shadowlands, and it was about like the labyrinth of the mind of the woman survivor, and like we went deep, like we was doing. It was, I don't even know, but we did that.
La Bruja is very intense. So if you're not ready to be real and intense, you can't be her friend, because she is just a work of art. And it's so natural.
And if your intentions are not right, you can feel it.
Absolutely. And that's what I keep empowering everyone, that we're on a standstill, but we're not really on a standstill. We just can't be out like that. But you can still be creative. There's people working behind the scenes. Everybody's looking for talent. People are paying attention to you. This is the time to work. This is the time to connect, right?
And to create your own, like,
lane.
A lot of people want to be actors, but don't wait for that script to land. Write that script. Who do you want to play? Because the characters that they give people of color is still limited unless it's us writing the story. So that's how basically I did work with Spike Lee, was because I had my one-woman show. It was called Boogie Rican Boulevard. I played 7 people and turned it into a musical, and then Spike Lee read about it, and then he wanted me to audition. I came, met him, he called me himself, and next thing I was in Bamboozled, and I did voiceover work for Inside Man and for She's Gotta Have It, and and what that came from writing my own characters, which was inspired by John Leguizamo, who I would learn from, and then wound up working with for
recently too.
To develop this new musical. And
it's just amazing. Like it's like surreal, like how things just flow. Like sometimes things just end up on your lap, and it's just, you can't even get a chance to take it in because it's right away to get to work, But There's opportunities everywhere. No matter who you connect with, that's also another opportunity. So, we need to inspire people to not get stuck on this standstill.
No, you can manifest things. There's this in the Tao, which is this ancient book, and it says that the Tao does nothing but leaves nothing undone. And when you meditate, you don't have to be physically moving, but with your mind, you're creating frequency, and you are moving things in that realm that is invisible but still present vibrationally and energetically. When you meditate, and you can move mountains without doing anything, just by the intention. So yeah. I manifested John Leguizamo. I meditated 5 nights in a row listening to frequencies.
Look at that.
On the 5th night, I got the email that he was looking for me. I was like,
and you know what's funny? I can't compare that, but I manifested meeting Met the Man. I did that for a year, and I finally got to meet him, and he knew exactly who I was. And it was great. So it's true. Like when you put things in the air, you give your prayers, and it comes to you, and then things just keep coming because people are watching, and people see your work ethic, and they're like, who is that? I want her. So you know how that is. I want to congratulate you on a recent achievement that you came across. Actually, it was for the Jerome Hill Artist Fellowship, 2019 to 2020. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. It's a grant. It's a grant. I never won a grant before, and it was a hard grant to write because it was very intense. But I won, and I won $40,000.
And that gave you the money for
El Garaje, this art space that I've been developing and restoring. It also gave me the money to travel to Vancouver and Haida Gwaii to learn from the indigenous tribes that are over there. So I've been doing a lot of the indigenous work because I've been part of the Taino world. I mean, I'm Taino, but I have been learning for over 15 years about my Taino culture. But then I wanted to learn about the predecessors of that culture, like the ancestors of the Native Americans that we know today. So that's like the area to go to, and that was life-changing. So I go all the way over there to this Haida Gwaii, these islands, and the Haida people are in charge of their land. Like you can't visit their sacred land unless they take you, which I wish it was like that for Puerto Rico and the Tainos, but it's not. And I want to fight for that.
Good for you.
So then, boom, I go over there, and I come back only to find out that I have been living on a Siwanoy village my entire life, and El Garaje is on this Siwanoy land called Snackapins, the land between two waters. It was an archaeological site in the 1900s, and I've been on it my whole life.
That is so amazing, yes.
Telling you.
What is that like to travel and do all of that? Like, that's so surreal for me.
It's my dream. It was like what I always wanted to do. I've started writing, like I look at journals, and maybe like 5 years ago when I really wasn't doing well financially, and I wasn't doing well in my personal life. I was sad. I was going through a divorce. I've gone through things, and I would still daydream like that little girl and write these things down, and then somehow when you write it, it's like, and when you say it, you start attracting it, and here we are. So my intention with El Garaje is to create a type of like the New York Poets Cafe. What the New York Poets Cafe is for me, I would like to make that for the next generations to come.
Absolutely.
All passes, and
absolutely,
art, cultivation, spiritual enlightenment space. And now it has this historic attachment with the Siwanoy, and now I'm working to put placards on Classen Point and here on Soundview so that people know this was a village and you're on Siwanoy land.
We have so much history in the Bronx that it's like overshadowed by what the Bronx is. Like, we're not just known for hip hop in the Bronx Zoo, guys, and a dangerous place to be. First of all, we have the most green of the whole city. Like, we have the biggest parks, we have the most prettiest parks. But there's a lot of history, guys. So
and we have the biggest cemetery too, which I know is kind of morbid, but I like walking through cemeteries.
Cemeteries are very peaceful.
They are. And to think, that all these lives were lived, it's so curious. Like every every plot has a history, and
Yeah.
love that.
Very
Celia Cruz is
interesting.
buried in the Bronx. Celia Cruz is in Woodlawn Cemetery. Miles Davis is there, and
Yeah.
that cemetery in particular has like fascinating
It's a
structures.
beautiful cemetery. My grandmother's buried there in a mausoleum, preserved for over 100 years.
Okay,
And
that's the
it's
place
just
to
gorgeous
be.
to visit. Yeah.
It is gorgeous. So yeah, the Bronx has a lot. I was just on the Bronx River on a canoe just a few days ago. I did a film about it, and I'm gonna put it on my YouTube page. Caridad de la Luz is my YouTube page. I'm gonna probably put it up today, but I presented it yesterday. It's gonna come out on BronxNet, which BronxNet is like your new home. So yeah, I was on the Bronx River, and now there's Bronx River Alliance. We're in conjunction
Yes.
doing this work to let people know about the water, the land,
Yeah.
and the history. So
I was actually supposed to do that with the community board in the South Bronx. So that's where I work part-time for community board too. And we were supposed to do that too as a team with, Salamanca and all of that. And, because of the COVID, we kind of was just like, all right. So I'm glad you got to experience that.
yeah,
Definitely.
it
So,
is. But we can
so,
talk about that and do that together, maybe.
oh, yes. Let me know. I'm right by Van Cortlandt too, just in case, if you're ever around. Yeah.
That's a beautiful park. I'm telling. I was just there with the swans. I was like,
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah. My view overlooks it. So I get to see the whole entire thing. Bring us back to you being little because you're intense as an adult. So, like, how were you when you were young?
I was the same as the same. I was the same. I was writing poetry from little. I was performing in my living room from little. I have photos of it. I would do open mics in the holidays for my cousins and my family. So that's like in me. So like who I am is really who I am. This is like authentically me.
Yeah.
And I was dancing. I was put into dance at 4. My mom put me into dance at 4. I was learning flamenco. Then she put me in ballet. So from 4 to 13, every like Saturday of my life, I was in dance school. But then I was diagnosed with scoliosis, which is a curvature of the spine. And then I had
Okay.
surgery done when I was 13. So they told me no, no more dance. They told me I wouldn't dance, I wouldn't carry children, and I wouldn't do sports. And I've been in musicals. I've been on my high school with tennis and track and
And you
volleyball.
got beautiful children.
Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. That's for damn sure.
That's only God. That's God's plan. That's nobody else. But I
That's
guess
right.
maybe he was trying to like give you heads up, God forbid. But you made it out, so that's even more powerful.
I did. So that same spirit, I always had that. I always had that spirit of perseverance. Always have that warrior spirit. But we're warrior women. We come
Yeah.
from strong stock.
Yeah. Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about I Like It Like That because that's I heard about you so many times before that with Nightline. Danny Silver, who was very fond of you, who's my director and my
Yeah.
partner, work partner, guys, no other partner. And he told me about you, and I went to see I Like This with my mom because I grew up watching the movie, but the play was nothing like the movie. It was
Yeah,
even better.
it was a different story. It took place in the 70s. It was the Rodriguez family, and the father was Tito Nieves at first, and then Domingo Quiñones took over.
Yeah.
So I got to work with both of them as their daughter. My character was China Rodriguez, and my character was the middle sister that turns into the young lord revolutionary.
Yeah.
So
That was great.
I was in heaven. That character was me.
It
Like,
was.
if
It
I was
was.
in
You
the
didn't have to
70s,
try
that would
much.
have been me doing that. So it was an honor to work amongst such talent. The whole cast was talented, and for me, it was like salsa boot camp. Like I had
Yeah.
to really immerse myself like that. But then when you're with Tito Nieves, who's the Pavarotti of salsa, and his voice is so tremendous and strong,
Yeah.
and a funny, fun-loving character and very generous. Very, very,
He's
very.
very father-like, very daddy-like. Because when I interviewed him and met him a couple of times, he just reminds you of a family member. Like you just kind of want to hug him like a dad. Yeah,
You
I can
do.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know.
Oh yeah, he plays my dad, and we had a song together.
Mhm.
Our scene was the burning of the garbage that reenacted what the Young Lords did in El Barrio to fight for the rights because the garbage wasn't being picked up, so they started burning it.
Right.
It was the one revolutionary message within the story of I Like It Like That. And David Maldonado, David Rodriguez, Wadis Vasquez. It was great. They put that whole production together, and we did it at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, which is the home of Miriam Colon.
Who passed like right after that. So it was amazing that, right? Because you guys were after her death or before the death?
No, yeah, it was after.
It was after the death. Okay.
No, it was during, I think. No.
It was during, because I think I met her one time when I went to the showings.
You're right.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. And, she was so supportive of my work because I did my one-woman show, Boogie Rican Boulevard, and I turned it into a musical. I did it at Puerto Rican Traveling Theater in 2009 for a whole month. I did a month run. I still played the 7 characters, but I had a cast of 5 people, which included my 9-year-old daughter at the time. She was 9. And so at one moment, she's my daughter. 1 minute, she's my niece. 1 minute, she's my granddaughter. 1 minute, she's my neighbor. She knew everybody's parts and, off the hook. And then my son did the sound cues. So Puerto Rican Traveling Theater has been instrumental in my life. And so I'm still part of the Pregones PRTT family.
Okay.
Continue to do that
They're
work.
amazing.
Leads right to the Dancing in My Cockroach Killers, which is the amazing revolutionary poet Magdalena Gomez who wrote that production. And so we were. It was very satirical. It was protest. It's like it was a Puerto Rican protest in poetic form because of all of the horrible things that Puerto Rico was going through. And when that happened, it was right after Hurricane Maria, but Puerto Rico's stress and tribulations continue now with the earthquakes, now with the COVID. Like
we've been back to back hit like nothing. It's crazy. I was talking to Mom the other day, and she's like, I don't know what the hell we did, but we just been getting smacked left and right. I'm like, I don't know either.
Well, I believe is that because Puerto Rico is such a paradise that, America has it as a stronghold, and it's the only colony, and we're treated as a colony, and we don't get to vote. We don't get to, we get to fight all the American wars, but we can't even plant and sustain ourselves agriculturally. They have all these, the Jones Act, all these taxations, so it's making it more expensive and more exclusive to live. It's their way of basically like a genocide. It's basically a slow genocide to get the Puerto Rican people out and then have the elite hold it as their stomping grounds.
So I have someone on the line that's saying, I don't know, Atkinson, she says she thinks that you was a professor in Hunter College around 2003-ish. Is that you?
I wasn't a professor, but I did do a lot of stuff with El Centro de Puerto Rico and Puerto Rican Studies. I performed, poetry there. I taught workshops there at Hunter. So that's probably, I learned a lot in Hunter, and I also did videos to capture and celebrate the work of the Nuyorican poet luminaries such as Tato Laviera and Pedro Pietri el Reverendo, whose face now graces the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, and the street is named after El Reverendo. And he was a mentor to me. He was my first Nuyorican experience, and so I've done a lot of work with Hunter. Yeah.
So the Bronx Borough president has titled you as a Bronx living legend, and he gave you a citation.
He did.
I mean,
God bless him.
I love Mr. Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, he's gonna leave us soon, but I don't like his dad too much, but I like him.
Well, that's a very controversial situation.
It is.
And maybe he's the reason why he's leaving and not doing the office for mayor. Who knows? I know. It sucks.
I'm not afraid to be controversial. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. That's another reason why I can easily call myself a bruja, because brujas are truth sayers, and a lot of people don't like the truth. But
absolutely,
I'd rather the truth than facades and gaslighting and.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody for joining us right now. We are with the legendary La Bruja right now. I want to say hello to Nefertiti. She's up in here. She's one of the dopest I don't even know what to call her. I don't want to call her lyricist. Is she a lyricist?
She is a lyricist. She's a
Okay.
lyricist. She's an activist. She's my hip hop home
She's
slice.
dope.
I know.
She like brings me back to like the 90s. Like dope. Like check her out, please. I have to have her on the show.
Yo, you gotta see our Coco Chanel music video together. We shot that in El Garaje, and it was the way that what is her name? Ay Dios mío, Nicki Minaj and Foxy Brown did their song.
Yeah.
So me and Nejma Nefertiti got together and we did the Coco Chanel remix, and she kills it. You want to hear bars?
Oh, she's so dope. She's so dope.
We've done stuff. We've made songs against speaking out on police brutality. So there's this song called "If Anybody's Interested." But she's been traveling with Afro Yaki. We've done we've had a lot of good laughs. Me and Nejma Nefertiti, that's my homie.
Nefertiti, if you can you just put your social media up there, because someone's asking how to find you, and I don't want anybody missing out on your talent because it needs to be seen, and it's very reminiscent, so it kind of brings you back to a time that was a great time actually, and I wish her the best. All right, let's see what we can talk about. Favorite person that you worked with out of all the people you worked with or wrote for or recorded for?
My favorite person
to this day, like you're just like, oh.
God, I don't know. There's so many beautiful people.
I know it's hard, but that's a good thing. That means you're around beautiful energy.
I met Oprah. I didn't work with Oprah, but I got to meet Oprah, and I have my little blurry photo with Oprah.
It came out blurry?
A little bit. A little bit. But my ex took it, so you know.
Is the ex a mutual friend? Because I'm going to tell him to get in line. I'll be like, you fucked up the Oprah picture. Hilarious.
I digress. But definitely, you know, meeting Oprah was a super duper highlight. I was cheesing hard. I cheese hard often, but I was cheesing that hard, like almost my face was crying.
Yeah. Was she everything you wanted her to be?
In the moment, yes, she was. She felt my energy, and she was like, "You're a fighter," and I was like, "Yes, I am." And we just took a photo. It was really lovely. So, you know, to meet Oprah, and you know, she's bad. Like, I love Oprah. I love Oprah so much. But favorite person to work with, other than Nejma Nefertiti, with our fun, I love working with my kids. Like, I love children. It's one of the.
They're so talented. They're so talented.
The shows that happen in my kitchen are the bomb. I just did my Corona Cabana video, which was my parody of the Copacabana about the COVID, and a little bit like I got to say my feelings on Trump and everything.
Yes.
You know, my daughter shot that, and my son helped me write that, so that was a nice.
Is it out already? Because I saw you promoting it, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. Is it
on my YouTube page? It's on my YouTube.
I'm gonna check it out tonight. I'll post it up.
And you'll see, you know, because I wore that same outfit when I did my For Which It Stands video, which was like 10 years ago. And I made that headpiece, and I made the shoes, and so it was cool. But for this time, everything fit because the garage was already in that old style, and I had undone the whole Halloween thing for Dia de los Muertos, so everything was decorated for it. And then I just put the outfit on, and then my son made boogers from borax, and so we did this whole.
So funny.
I love it. I love it. Working with my children is just it reaches me in a very, very deep place. Like looking in their eyes while we're doing something.
Yeah.
It's like a portal. It's like when you're looking inside your children's eyes.
Yeah.
A creative moment is.
They're very eccentric. Like they're just very like free and open and just creative, like you are. Like it's really weird how people like your kids have your traits and just kind of grow the way you grew up too.
I always kept them with me. I wasn't sending them off to babysitters. They were with me. They were with me. And I took the TV away when they were like around 10. So my son is now 22 and my daughter is 19, about to be 20.
Wow.
And so I took the TV away years ago. And so now they're super creative. My son does Dungeons and Dragons dinner theaters, and he's
Yeah.
sous chef for Meals on Wheels now. And he does
And
all
he
the culinary stuff.
sings.
And he sings. They
Yes.
both
In a
sing
very
their
unique
asses off.
fashion, too. In a very unique fashion. Right? I love it. I love it.
So, yeah, it's so great. Nejma and my kids have done backup singing for me on like at summer
I
stage
love it.
stuff. I had Nejma singing salsa hooks.
Put them kids to work. That's all. It ain't
Yeah,
nothing.
que
They're gonna
aprenda.
love you for that. They'll
It
love you for
changes
that.
everything. It does change everything. And they're fans of my work. They like recite my work to me and like,
So dope. That's
it's
so dope.
yeah, it really means a lot.
Is anybody that you haven't worked with that you really do want to work with? Of any level? It doesn't have to be
I
like
really
celebrity, but
wanted to work or just meet Prince. I really wanted that. I wanted that bad. So I'm so
that's my
sad.
gem, bro.
Oh,
We have the same birthday, June 7th. And he died on my wedding anniversary. So I'm like connected with Prince. It's weird. Yes.
damn, boo.
That's crazy,
Stop
right?
it. So that's who I really wanted to work with. But I mean, I would love to work with Alicia Keys and her husband. I
Oh.
love them. She's an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
love her so much. I love her whole energy and her whole
Yeah.
creativity, her vibe, and her as a mother. I just, yeah, she's up there.
Yeah, I have a thing for the family too. Like Swiss Beats and her are just like magical to me. Like they're
They
so highly intelligent, they're so creative. Swiss Beats is amazing.
are
Like they're
amazing.
just a match made in heaven. Yeah,
Are. I got to meet
absolutely.
him a couple of times, because they honored him. He's on the Bronx
Walk
street
of
of,
Fame.
yeah, the Walk of Fame. And
Yeah, I met
so
him that year at the Windows of Hip Hop. He was amazing. You met him
amazing.
too?
And then when I landed in LA this past summer to do some activist work, he was on my plane. He was on the same plane as me. So and he called up. I was like, I met you before. I know you don't remember me, but I love
He's
you.
so cool. He's so humble.
Yeah, super sweet, super cool. Boogie Down Bronx, baby. Get it.
Absolutely. Is anything you want to promote for 2020, 2021 even? Because this year's flying by and I know you're still working.
I am still working.
Yeah.
I've unveiled my next one woman show is gonna be From Poor to Rico. I've been working on
Mm.
that, and I'm gonna put this new video. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube page today called Bronx Indigenous, which is I was on the river and we were filming all of that work, and so that people can understand what I'm doing
Yeah.
about the Haida work and the Siwanoy stuff, and
Yeah.
getting claimed land. So I'm doing that. I'm also working with Pregones. We're bringing another musical called Torched about the Bronx fires when the Bronx was on fire. So I'm doing
Ooh.
that. Some music collaborations. I just came out on an album from Kiko Navarro in Spain called Afro Terraneo, and my song on his album is called Para Mama. So it was dedicated to her, his mother, Milagros, but we dedicated it also to La Caridad del Cobre, Ochun, whose name, I was given my name after
After
that.
her, right.
So I made this song. It's a prayer to her and a prayer and honoring all the mothers. And I was able to name my grandmother's name in there, Generosa, and I put her name in there. But it's like it's very dense and the same type of vibe. Also with Nejma Nefertiti, we did this song called Red, Black, and Dreams, which that was my first production, like doing keyboard and doing the beat and stuff. So
Really?
yeah, we went in on that one. We went in
How did you
a
guys meet?
lot of
Because you
stuff.
guys are like a musical match made in heaven and you guys are very powerful activists. Like, how did you guys come across each other?
I don't even know what it. Well, she, I would rather she tell you. Maybe you should interview her next because
Okay.
she. All I know that I could say is that she was on one side of the country and I was on another, and she reached out and we connected, and so we made collaboration work and put my music on one of her albums without having even met. and then
Wow.
City. And when we met, she was dressed as Frida Kahlo, which is another inspiration of mine. She was dressed as Frida Kahlo. It was crazy. So I meet Nejma Nefertiti. She's dressed as Frida Kahlo, and
Like the eyebrow and all?
everything.
Just out of nowhere, just to come meet you?
Just like, I feel like Frida today. Boom.
I love it. I love it. She's laughing too.
And I was on my way to a paranormal poetry reading, and there was a whole paranormal vibe that day, and that's actually what I was going to go do. And then boom, I meet Nejma in the flesh.
Interesting. You never know what God has planned. You know, God sends you people, and those are the people that need to be right next to you. You know, and then that becomes projects, and then lifetime friends from the business, but lifetime friends.
That's right.
So it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Real quick, since we're talking about all these little spiritual things, do you believe in spirits and shadows? And you know, we have shadow people. You know, right? Do we have shadow people?
Well, I mean, when you say shadow people, what do you mean by shadow?
Like sometimes you'll just see a shadow. I've seen a shadow before and it's just gone. It's weird.
Sometimes there's floaters in your eye because the back of your eye, the retina, it starts to fold with time, and then you get floaters. And sometimes, because this happens to my aunt, she's like,
"Are you serious?"
I swear, and she thinks that there's ghosts everywhere. I'm like, you just need to go to the eye doctor, Thea. It's not that serious, but there are spirits. Yes, I do believe in the spirit world. I mean, actually, I've been communicating with spirits since I was a kid, or they communicate with me.
Really?
As a matter of fact, there is the spirit of the man who actually created El Garaje. It's a 1920 trucking garage. His name is Jack Valenti, and he told me when I was, a teenager, young, his name. I heard his name because he used to communicate with Knox. So there's a lot of paranormal stuff that have happened that makes me absolutely know and undeniably that the spirit world does exist. It's a reflection spirit right with the physical. It's just right. And even though you don't see it, you feel it. It exists. And you know, the more you honor it, the more blessings, you know, they give to you because you're keeping their spirit alive. The Native American, our African ancestry, you know, it's so important to me to always put that up and revere it because they're the reason we're even here.
Right.
So it's there. It's definitely there.
So it doesn't have to be a morbid, scary thing. It's just, it could actually be peaceful, actually.
It really can. And let me tell you, I think I'm more afraid of living people than I am of dead.
Oh my God, my dad would say the same thing. You're scared to see, because I think there was a moment when my grandmother died. Like, I want to see her, but I don't want her to scare me. He was like, you're scared of spirits and you're dealing with people in the street? Like, they do more damage than spirits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's true. It's really true. When my grandfather passed away, he passed away in the house and he passed away in his bed. And I was 16 at the time. And then I went to sit on his bed a few days after he passed away. You know, I was still in mourning and I was crying. And I got the scent of his cigar, very, very strong. And then at that same moment, my grandmother walks in and she's like, "Ay, Dios mío, I heard him call my name." And I had just smelled him and she heard him. And
I love afterlife. I think it is an amazing thing. I welcome it all the time. The other night, you know, my birthday's coming up. I haven't seen my grandmother in my dreams for a while. And I welcome her all the time. Like, please come talk to me. Come visit me. Like, let me see you, you know? And it's an amazing thing. You feel them. They work for you. They hear you. Sometimes you say things in your mind. Don't tell nobody. And the shit happens. And you're like, wow, somebody's really paying attention. So afterlife is a beautiful thing.
It is. They do. You have guardian angels. Yeah, they become your guardian angels too.
Yeah.
Your cuadro espiritual. You know,
yeah.
That's important to, you know, to keep ritual in your life. Whatever it is, you can create that own ritual, whatever feels right to you to honor them. To honor them. Yeah.
What is it for you to be we're going to finish up in a little bit, but what is it for you to be Latina in 2020 in the Bronx as well and the business? What's going on? You have to tell anybody to get in line, or are we okay?
No, we are okay. I think I've always been proud to be exactly what I am. I never felt shame, even when I was little. You know, I never felt ashamed or wanted to be anything else than what I am. And I think, I mean, as a Puerto Rican woman, I'm more concerned about our Puerto Rican people and
Yeah.
our situation as a country,
Yeah.
as an independent country,
Mhm.
than I'm worried about this industry. Like, it's whatever we make it, and at this point,
Absolutely.
look at where we're at. You know, we can reach the world in a moment, and so that that whole shit is a matrix. Like, you know, like
It's true.
it is. So once you see it like that, and you don't take it too seriously, and you just work. You let it work for you, but you don't work for it.
Right.
Then, you know, you can focus on the more important things, you know, things that really do matter: your health, your personal being, your surroundings, your community, your environment, like your family. That's it. That's
I
all
had
you
one question as you were speaking. I wanted to know if you ever were involved with Young Lords or around it when you were young, or your mom, anything?
not
Or is
really. Not that they were in the Young Lords. But my grandfather in Puerto Rico was part of Los Macheteros, and I remember him having these. You know,
that sounds intimidating.
it was like a political group, though. It was like these freedom fighters. You know, it had a symbol. I have to look for it. It was like un jibarito with a straw hat and a machete, and you know, so they were the macheteros, and like that was kind of like what opened up my eyes to what do Puerto Ricanos really want. You know, what
Yeah.
when they ask for freedom, what type of freedom are they talking about? You know,
Mhm.
what was he looking for? And that was where I became a poet, an activist for, you know, trying to get Puerto Rican political prisoners free. And I was part
Yeah.
of the protest to free Oscar Lopez Rivera. And, you know, some people
Oh, I remember
consider them,
all of that.
yeah, some people
Oh,
consider them
that year
terrorists.
in the Puerto Rican parade was crazy. There was Black Revolution flags everywhere, and then that became a thing too. I remember that.
I know.
I think I stayed away that year.
I just played the outside lines. Like, I didn't immerse myself too much in that day because it was gonna hurt me to see our people divided. You know, like, I didn't want to see, because I've seen that too. Because there are a lot of Puerto Ricans that have basically identified with the oppressor. They have identified, and not that I don't love America. I love America. I love being an American. I do, but it's undeniable that what America is founded on is toxic. It's painful. It's
Yeah.
narcissistic. It's also it's murderous. It's
Hmm.
racist. It's, you know, so it's based on a very painful history that they glorify without seeing
Absolutely.
the oppression and the genocide that we're still dealing with. So, you know, it's a mix. It's a mix of things, and you know, you gotta sometimes to look at the whole bigger picture and do the work that, you know, at the end of your life you can always be proud of what side of history you were on, and that's how I live my life.
I have a comment here, and I just want to acknowledge it a little bit. D. Morrison, 24. Thank you so much for having this conversation. This was very inspirational. I want to say happy birthday to all the gems in here. My mommy's up in here. She says hello. All right. Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're also into Hip Hop Appreciation Week. What do
Woo!
these words mean to you?
Woo!
Hip hop and mental health.
Ah! Well, you know, writing yourself a rap will help your minds. You know, you could combine both those things. I was just writing. I have this new work called "Who Am I?" because there was this "Who Am I?" challenge, and Ovia sent it to me, and he was like, you know, you got to get with the challenge. And I didn't release it, but I did write it, and In tune with Mother Nature, embrace her and your inner shaman, illuminated chakras, my influencer virus, inspired an entire league of titans with sight beyond sight, black, brown, red, yellow, white, thundercats of the light, underdog from the Bronx. You don't want to see me bite. You don't want to see me fight. Southpaw with the right, lockjaw, hit hard with all of my might. KO, Ayo, and out go the lights, champion of prize fights, the queen of New Yorkers.
I love it.
Last of the Mohicans, last of the Puerto Ricans. So,
I love it. You know, I think there was some energy shared through this chat, because as you're speaking just before that, I said, before we hang up, I gotta ask her to do something, and then you just start spitting, and I'm like,
hey, it's hip hop appreciation week,
crazy.
Right? You gotta give them bars.
Yes, definitely. Do you have any tips for our Latinos or even our youth to get into poetry, the music, how to even deal with this time? Do you have any like last words of encouragement?
Well, I still host the open mics on Thursday night with the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. It's on my page, La Bruja NYC, every Thursday night at 9 p.m. You don't have to perform, but you can watch, and people, you know, they zoom in from England, Africa, Australia. You never know who you're gonna get.
It even opens up broader now. Because they can't come to New York, so now they're able to be with you. That is so dope.
So I would say, you know, watch one of our open mics Monday night. It happens too with, you know, my homie, Advocate of Words. He's also an excellent host, and he does the Monday night, but that's pure poetry on Monday nights. Thursday night, it's all styles are welcome. And yeah, zoom in and watch me host and invite all these amazing worldly people. And if you want to get on the open mic list, it opens up 24 hours before the show. So on Wednesday night at 9 p.m., you go to the website, neweurekan.org, go to the open online mic thing, and you sign up. There's 25 slots, and get in line.
That's right, baby. I love it. Now, you know, I've been speaking to certain people that are having this fire or had the fire, but now they're kind of like, you know, they get distracted with life and they don't know how to get back into it. I have a personal friend who loved writing and doing poetry, and now, you know, she's in school, she has a child, she's working. You know, sometimes you feel like you don't have the time. Do you have any advice on how to make the time to get things written on paper, to clear the mind? Just make time, right?
You gotta keep a journal with you, even if it's one line at a time, you know, like keep it with you, write it down. Or sometimes I did this exercise where I kept a journal at my bed, and every morning before I did anything, I would wake up and just write some free flow shit, whatever comes. And then out of that writing came this amazing poem about Julia de Burgos that I absolutely loved and was able to recite on Fox TV when they celebrated Julia de Burgos for the parade. You know, so, you know, when you first wake up, your mind is still connected kind of to that dream world. Yeah. So there's messages that come to you that you probably wouldn't get at the, you know, middle of the day.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's a great time to do the meditation too. If you set your alarm maybe 30 minutes before time to wake up, and just give that time to breathe, think, to reflect, to set your intention and write down your thoughts, you knock out all of those things in one shot.
Yeah, they say that like when you're rehearsing and you're learning lines, like memorizing, they say the morning and late night is the best time to do it because your mind is clear. Yes. So you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
What are we doing for Memorial Weekend? Are we doing anything special at home?
You know, I'm not really. I
It's fine.
Nothing to do, but I'll probably light a candle, and I will, you know, I will take my time to do what I always do, which I don't need a holiday to do it. I live that already. So yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing. Eating well, cooking something, you know, holistic, nutritious, and at home, and hugging my chihuahua.
Let's go with those cookies and the shakes and all that. Are we still doing that?
About my edible line.
Yes, I am. Yes. Real quickly, are you still doing that?
Well, because of this COVID thing, no, I haven't been doing that.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna send some people over to you.
I'll let you know when I do a new batch, because you know I have my cookies, I have my cornbread, and then I got my cocotazo coquito.
My cocotazo, I love it. I'm gonna give you a cocotazo
twice.
Absolutely. I gotta try the cocotazo. That's what I'm interested in.
Yes.
Yes.
I might make cocotazo piraguas. I'm not sure because you
Mm.
don't gotta wait for Christmas to make it. So I'll let you
Absolutely.
know.
Baby, I want to thank you so much. I really do miss you. The last time I saw you was at Bronx Week for the fashion show at Bay Plaza, she's the host every year. She looks fantastic. She just knows how to move the crowd. It's a lot of fun. So you guys got to check that out. Hopefully next year. I don't know if it's happening this year, right? It passed already, right?
Yes, because we usually did like the Mother's Day in May,
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens. But fashion never dies, so we'll
No,
see what happens.
we love you. We love you
I
and
love
keep
you.
empowering and be amazing. And I'm so blessed to know you and have you as a friend. Okay.
Yes,
Reach out to me anytime.
me too. I'm
I
here
love
for
you. If you want to say anything to your viewers, go ahead. We have a couple of more seconds, or where you
just
can be found.
go to my website, my real name, caridadelaluz.com. Subscribe to my YouTube page, Caridad de la Luz there too, here at La Bruja NYC on IG and Twitter, on Facebook. If you Google me, you'll find me, and write to me. I have a workshop tomorrow if anybody's interested in
Okay.
doing poetry with the Ladies Love Project. Yeah,
Ooh.
tomorrow at
Send
3
me the
p.m.
flyer for that if you can tonight,
Okay, I will
so I can
send
post
it.
it up.
Thank you.
All right, baby. We'll talk behind the scenes. I love you. Be safe. And
Thank
thank you
you,
for being
everybody. Thank you so much. Much love to all of you. Positive energy.
here.
Woo.
Woo! Spur fingers. Love you, baby. Be good.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have a couple of more seconds. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Nefertiti, reach out to me or I'll reach out to you if you want to come on and spit something for us. We can do that. Mommy, thank you for just being my mommy and my momager and everything. My roadie's here. Hello. Happy birthday to all the gems. It's Gem Power this month. Yes, I'm so excited for our season. Let's just make the best of it. And I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to put this up on YouTube and Instagram. So just follow Miss The Essence 1. You can follow the The Essence Show on YouTube. You can see it on BronxNet, MNN, and Queens, Tri-State. I have the show on radio now, so you guys can tune into radio.net every Saturday at 12 p.m. You can hear just the voice, no face. But a lot of people like to hear voices. Sometimes not everybody's visual. So I'm just trying to reach everybody at this point. And thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy. Stay empowered, or you better get in line. Your girl The Essence. Mwah.
Puerto Rico hasta Nueva York. The essence get your feelings to the middle of your core. You've never seen a show that has been so fine. So let's all grab a seat and you